Welcome to our exploration of the BRICS nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. We'll explore how these countries are strategically aligning to potentially dominate global resources. These powerful nations are reportedly coordinating efforts to control vital resources such as oil, gas, rare earth metals, and agricultural products. The objective? Allegedly, it's to exert significant influence over global markets and economies, potentially reshaping geopolitical dynamics. Imagine a scenario where these countries strategically extract and stockpile resources, forging covert alliances with resource-rich but politically unstable nations. The alleged objective? To undermine other economies and reshape global power dynamics. China's role and influence. Let's start with China, a nation that has been particularly proactive in securing resources globally. Over the past 2 decades, China has poured billions of dollars into African economies. Chinese investments in Africa are extensive and varied, but a significant portion focuses on mining operations. For instance, China's investments in Zambia's copper mines are a prime example of how it secures critical resources. Copper is essential for various industries, especially in electronics and electrical wiring. By investing heavily in Zambia, China not only ensures a steady supply of this vital metal but also gains significant political and economic influence in the region. Critics argue that these investments often come with strings attached. Countries receiving Chinese investment frequently find themselves in debt traps, where they owe large amounts of money to China. This indebtedness can give China considerable control over their economies and policies. Moreover, these investments are often accompanied by infrastructure projects, such as roads and railways, which facilitate resource extraction and transportation. While these projects can boost local economies, they also tie the recipient countries more closely to China, creating a form of economic dependency. In addition to Africa, China has also been active in South America, securing access to resources like soybeans and oil. By diversifying its sources of raw materials, China reduces its vulnerability to supply disruptions and enhances its strategic autonomy. Russia's energy dominance. Moving on to Russia, its control over Europe's gas supply is a crucial aspect of this alleged strategy. Europe relies heavily on Russian gas for heating and energy. This dependence gives Russia considerable geopolitical leverage, as seen during various crises. For example, during the Ukraine crisis, Russia used gas supply as a bargaining chip, threatening to cut off supplies to Europe if they opposed its actions. This tactic highlights how control over a vital resource can be used to exert political pressure. The construction of pipelines such as Nord Stream 2 has further cemented Russia's influence over Europe's energy landscape. Despite opposition from some European countries and the United States, the pipeline project proceeded, underscoring Russia's determination to maintain its energy dominance. Furthermore, Russia's energy strategy is not limited to Europe. It has also been strengthening ties with China and other Asian countries through long-term gas and oil contracts. By diversifying its customer base, Russia reduces its economic vulnerability and increases its geopolitical influence. Brazil's agricultural power. Next, let's examine Brazil's dominant position in global agriculture. Brazil is one of the world's largest producers of soybeans, coffee, and sugar, among other commodities. Its agricultural output significantly impacts global food prices. Any disruption in Brazil's agricultural production, whether due to political instability, environmental issues, or trade disputes, can cause price spikes worldwide. This potential for disruption gives Brazil a significant lever in global markets. Brazil's agricultural sector has also attracted substantial foreign investment, including from China. Chinese companies have invested in Brazilian farmland and agricultural infrastructure, securing a stable supply of soybeans and other crops for China's growing population. Additionally, Brazil's role in biofuels, particularly ethanol production from sugarcane, adds another layer to its influence. As countries seek to reduce their carbon footprints, Demand for biofuels is likely to increase, further enhancing Brazil's strategic importance. India's economic influence. India, with its vast coal reserves and significant pharmaceutical and IT industries, holds substantial economic power. Coal remains a primary energy source for India, powering its industries and growing economy. India's role in the global pharmaceutical industry is particularly noteworthy. It is one of the world's largest producers of generic drugs, supplying affordable medicines to many countries. During the COVID-19 pandemic, India's pharmaceutical industry played a crucial role in producing and distributing vaccines and other essential medicines. This control over generic drug production gives India significant influence over global health markets. Any disruption in India's pharmaceutical supply can have global repercussions, affecting access to essential medicines. In the technology sector, India has established itself as a major player in software development and IT services. Indian IT companies provide services to businesses worldwide, contributing to the global digital economy. This influence extends to innovations in areas such as artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and data analytics. South Africa's mineral wealth. South Africa's rich mineral resources, including gold, platinum, and diamonds, are critical to global supply chains. The country's mining sector has a significant influence on global markets for these valuable commodities. South Africa is the world's largest producer of platinum, a metal essential for various industrial applications, including automotive catalysts and electronics. Its gold mines also contribute significantly to the global supply of this precious metal. The country's mineral wealth has attracted substantial foreign investment, with companies from around the world vying for access to its resources. This competition underscores the strategic importance of South Africa's mineral sector. Strategic coordination among BRICS nations. Supporters of this concept argue that the actions of BRICS nations reflect a coordinated strategy to dominate global resources and influence markets and economies. They point to the regular summits and meetings held by BRICS leaders as evidence of this collaboration. During these summits, BRICS nations discuss economic cooperation, trade, and investment strategies. Some believe these discussions also involve coordinating their resource extraction and stockpiling efforts to maximize their collective influence. By aligning their strategies, BRICS nations could theoretically exert more control over global resource markets, creating a counterbalance to the economic power of Western nations. This alignment could help them achieve their geopolitical and economic objectives more effectively. Counter-arguments and criticisms. However, many experts argue against this interpretation, citing conflicting interests among BRICS nations and the complexities of global markets. They argue that international regulations and market dynamics prevent any single group from completely monopolizing global resources. For instance, China and India have had long-standing border disputes and conflicting interests in regional security. These internal conflicts make it difficult for BRICS to act as a unified bloc on all issues. Moreover, the global market is too interconnected for any single group of countries to dominate completely. International trade regulations, market dynamics, and technological advancements all play a role in ensuring that no single entity can monopolize the market. International organizations like the World Trade Organization, WTO, and the International Monetary Fund, IMF, monitor global trade and economic activities to ensure fair practices. These organizations would likely catch wind of any collusion among BRICS nations and take action to prevent unfair practices. Political analysts also argue that the idea of a BRICS resource control conspiracy underestimates the complexity of international relations. Global politics involves a multitude of actors with diverse interests, making coordinated actions difficult. They highlight that while BRICS nations may cooperate on certain issues, their interests often conflict. For example, Russia's actions in Ukraine have been met with mixed reactions from other BRICS nations, reflecting their divergent geopolitical interests. Impact on global markets and geopolitics. Despite the debate, the concept persists due to the undeniable impact of BRICS nations on global resource markets and geopolitics. Whether through strategic investments, energy dominance and agricultural power, economic influence, or mineral wealth, these nations play crucial roles in the global economy. Their actions can significantly influence global prices for commodities, affecting industries and consumers worldwide. This influence extends to geopolitical dynamics. Control over resources can be used as a tool for political leverage. For instance, China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, has further extended its influence by investing in infrastructure projects across Asia, Africa, and Europe. These projects aim to enhance connectivity and trade, but also increase China's strategic influence over participating countries. Russia's energy strategy has similarly broad implications. By securing long-term contracts with countries in Asia, it reduces its reliance on European markets and strengthens its geopolitical position. Brazil's agricultural exports are critical for global food security. Any changes in Brazil's agricultural policies or production levels can have far-reaching consequences for global food market zones. India's role in the pharmaceutical and sectors underscores its importance in global health and technology. Disruptions in these sectors can have wide-ranging effects on global access to medicines and technological services. South Africa's mineral wealth continues to attract global attention, with its mining sector playing a vital role in supplying key commodities to industries worldwide. So, is the BRICS resource control conspiracy a legitimate concern or an exaggerated idea? The reality likely lies somewhere in between. While these nations certainly seek to enhance their economic and geopolitical influence, the notion of a coordinated effort to control global resources may oversimplify the intricate dynamics of international relations. Understanding these complexities is crucial as we navigate the future of global economics and politics. The actions of BRICS nations will continue to shape the future of international relations and resource management. It's important to remain critical and informed, recognizing the nuances of global economics and geopolitics. By examining both sides of the argument, we can better understand the motivations and impacts of these